We'll ask for mobile phones to be switched off, please, at this stage. So on silence. Thank you for your attendance this morning. I'd like to introduce the Executive President of Yorkshire Carnegie, Sir Ian McGeechan, and our new Head Coach, Bryan Redpath. Sir Ian would like to just say a few words to welcome Bryan to the club, and then we're open for any questions. If I could just ask any general questions to Sir Ian and Bryan, they could be directed to the top table. Sir Ian has a meet with the RFU regarding our academy, so has to shoot off pretty sharp after, so any general questions at the top table. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, thank you for coming this morning. And obviously I'm delighted to be able to welcome Bryan to Yorkshire Carnegie. We go back quite a long way. He's always been a natural leader, captain at Scotland when I was involved, and obviously he's got tremendous experience in the Premiership. And so to have him here now to take the lead and direct the club with the ambition we have to get back in the Premiership is very important thing to have the right person. Right? For me, he's an ideal man to take the club forward, and delighted really to have him with us now, and looking forward to the progress and the environment I know he'll create, because I know what he's like.
Any questions?
Bryan, how much of a part Sir Ian being here played in your move?
It was huge, and you know, myself and Ian, as I say, have gone back a long, long way. From, I think 1992 was the first time I trained with Scotland, and Ian was involved then, and then over the years, coaching against him, whether it be at Wasps or Bath, and also, you know, he was a sort of consultant figure for me when I took over at Gloucester in 2009. So, you know, we've always been in touch, and when when this opportunity comes up, a chance for me to get back, you know, on track of what I want to be and where I want to go. And I think it's important that you have to understand where you work with the people above you is really important. And I know Ian's ambition for Yorkshire has always been, you know, huge. And I think this opportunity to come back and work alongside Ian in Yorkshire, you know, with the Canadian and try and get back in that Premiership. I think when the opportunity came up, it was a great chance for me. And, you know, Leeds' approach to sale was important for me coming here. And obviously, I'm delighted to be here at my first day yesterday, so delighted.
How important is it for you on a personal level to be heading up a coaching team again?
Well, I don't really look at it too much. I think it's important for me just to do the right thing. And the right thing is as Ian says, is about my stamp, my culture, my mindset, and bringing that to Yorkshire. Carnegie is really important for what Ian wants. Our beliefs are the same, and it's important for me just to get myself ingrained in what this challenge is. It's a huge challenge to get back in the Premiership. We've got 16 months to get in the top two within the Championship, and that's the challenge. And it's not about me, that's a big thing. It's not just about me, it's about everybody involved in Yorkshire Carnegie, everyone involved in the squad, everyone involved in the staff. It isn't just about my challenge for me personally. It's not a personal challenge for me just to do X, Y, or Z. It's about me getting back what I want out of the game, what I want to give, and what I want to see developing in Yorkshire. There's a huge talent in Yorkshire to get better. So for me, it's nothing personal. It's not, you know, of course I want to be successful as an individual, as you mentioned, as a captain, I want to be successful. Now as a coach, I want to be successful. And at the moment, it's a new challenge here, and that's how it goes. It's not about being back on track too much made of that.
Yeah. Does it work in your favour though, coming in now with just before the end of the season, so you can get your feet under the door and, you know, play a part in recruit and then hit the ground running for the next season?
Yeah, most definitely. Whether it's retention of players, whether it's, you know, recruitment of players, whether it's, you know, bringing the right culture into it and make sure everyone's on track for next season. You know, we want to finish off this season well. You know, we've got 5 games left. I think that certainly 4 of them are ones we should be, you know, going to win. And then if we get to that top 4, even better. But first and foremost, we'll take week by week. We'll get the right people in, and we'll go hard at this game on Saturday. You know, it's important for everybody to have a clear pathway going forward from the very top to the very bottom of the club. And that's what Ian has brought in, and for me, it's just good to be involved now. And first session yesterday, to say with the players was interesting. You know, a challenge for me and nervous for me. Even though after 10 years of Premiership experience, it was a nervy day for me rocking up yesterday.
How big a step is it for you to take? How big a decision was it, Bryan, to step down to the Championship?
It wasn't a big decision. It was a decision that, knowing the background of Ian, knowing the background of Yorkshire Carnegie and the whole thing around here, whether it be Leeds Rhinos, whether it be Yorkshire Carnegie, for me, this decision is based on what we want to create as a club and how we want to get there. And personally, as I said, it's not about me, but personally, I felt this was a really good challenge, a really good, it's not a project, but it's a really good opportunity to get into something that we're all involved in. And we can create a real strong culture, mindset, community feeling, everything about it, back to being a real rugby club. We want to be in the top part of the Premiership. Now, that's not easy because funding is huge to be in the top 6 in the Premiership. That doesn't mean you can't compete or strive to get there. Now, we've got hopefully 3-4 years to get into that situation, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. So when the opportunity came, it was a chance for me to take on a new challenge and one that, you know, I'm delighted to have.
Ian, what qualities did Bryan have as a player, and what do you see qualities does he have as a coach?
I think he's very honest, which you need. He's open. He's got a very good rugby brain. We had as a player, you know, playing scrum half and leading an international side. He's very clear about what he wants, and as I said, his knowledge of the game is really extensive, which I think will help some of the younger players coming through, because he can give them a direction, sort of personally, one-to-one with them, which I think is important for players that are still developing, but also tactically and technically, the whole team, I think, will get a real clarity about what it's about, because he has that understanding of what makes good sides. You know, he's been in finals with Gloucester as a coach. He's got Sale back up, you know, from to top 6 positions. So he's in environments where he makes it work. And as I said, yes, we know each other well, and you know the values he has, I have, and you know, just relate to everything that he wants to do and what he's about.
And in the overall scheme of the bigger picture, how big an appointment is this? How big a part of the jigsaw?
Well, as you know, new chairman David Dockery, new board. We went to Twickenham with a number of them, plus the shareholders at the weekend. Had quite a good day at Twickenham, well, nearly for us. It was almost a good day. But it's great because I think it reflects the feeling of the new board and the new people who are supporting the club. They are very successful Yorkshire businessmen, as we know, but they're rugby union men, and they want this whole, the club, the project, what we're doing, to be able to move forward. And I think it's a great statement of their intent that, you know, they wanted somebody of the calibre of Bryan to come in and head up the whole operation. And that's what he'll do. You know, he's already spoken to all the staff, and you know, he's coached the players, and that's the great thing, that this is going to be a collective progress and a collective challenge for all of us to work together to say, right, we're going to take this club forward and have a real good journey together where we move the rugby forward, but we move the club forward.
Sorry. To the Championship by the end of next season. That has to be the goal. I believe we'll be in the top 4 by the end of April this year. We're 8 points off that 4th position at the moment. We have teams around us that we're going to play against, so there's no reason why we can't be. That's the challenge. The reality is how we saw next April, and by next May, we want to be in the top 2 in the Championship. And ultimately, whatever happens in other avenues that are getting talked about, will solve themselves. A key moment now is all I have, board members and Yorkshire Carnegie getting back up the run in the ladder and getting to that top 2, and then whatever.
At the moment, you've got Bristol, Worcester, and London Scottish, plus another So do you think Yorkshire Carnegie can make the top four?
Yeah, I do, yeah. No, it's a challenge for us. That's, you know, when we haven't been consistent all season, to go 4 out of 5 matches, that's the consistency I expect from them. And I think, you know, the hard work and the team spirit and the little sacrifices that some of them maybe haven't made because of what's gone on in the previous year. We're going to look to training tomorrow and be better as we were on Monday, which ultimately, as Ian says, is my responsibility to make sure they understand how to get better and then take the responsibility amongst each other. And that doesn't have to be old or young, it's a collective effort. We need to be better as a collective group, whether that's experienced or youth. We need to make sure we harness both the values, the culture of this, you know, huge Yorkshire talent that's there, and make sure that we can, you know, keep developing the squad, because the Premiership's a tough place. We've been in it. You don't want to go in it without any preparation right and the players right and the culture right. So we've got to get that in the next. Well, starting on Monday, really. Yesterday, the boys had to make sure that they've got the right values, because if we don't, our brass can move on.
You talked about a statement of intent, Ian. I think, judging by my knowledge, it's the first time that Carnegie has appointed not a novice head coach. How much of a statement do you think that's?
No, I think it is basically beating each other, which has meant that, you know, we've got that opportunity now. There's a door still slight and finish with some really good, strong winning rugby in these last 5. It'd be great, yeah. It's a chance. I'd love it if it happens this year. Fine. But I think beating the side over 2 legs that have gone up, and so part of that is impetus, and you know, teams do develop a bit of the progress goes with that impetus of just winning and the confidence that comes with it, and where we are, the players, what needs to be done, and for all that planning that needs to be in place in the games to go, but also in the pre-season of what we want to look like and how we want to prepare when the thing starts in the season restarts in September. And if that's in the Premiership, so be it.
It's been in the top message to people, if the Premiership is ring fenced, that you are there, or you will be there on merit as a top team in Yorkshire and as one of the top sides in the country.
Yeah, and I think we don't know what's going to happen, so all we can do is try and get our own house in order to be in the best position, so that as things evolve, then we're in the best position to make the most of any opportunity that arises over the next 6 to 8 months. The academy now is 3 levels up from where it was 2 years ago. We've got something which I think we're growing pretty special. So as a club, and we've talked about it before, behind the scenes, we're in very, very good shape. Andy Rock's doing a tremendous job with the academy. My responsibility on the board is the academy with him, and developing the Yorkshire talent and coordinating all that. So behind the scenes, over the longer term as well, we want the best organisation, the best talent ID, and it goes both ways. That, you know, we're trying to benefit clubs and schools that are part of the programmes in sharing, you know, that we've got to go back in and actually make the whole Yorkshire area group.
Ryan, through the Yorkshire Carnegie Satsuma social segment page, we invited fans to put some questions to you. Between you have covered most of them, but there are a couple. Let's see if that's okay. Are there any positions on the park that you see as a priority to strengthen?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always have to look at the spine of your team. You know that your front row, middle row, back row, you know, your half back, centre, back three. But we're going to have to do that. I've not seen, with honest, I haven't seen a lot of these lads play either in the last couple of years. Some of them have played Championship rugby or the Premiership. So over the next, 3 weeks or 2 weeks, certainly with the 2 games coming up, we'll see where we need to be. You can't hide from the fact if you want to be in the top end of any league, you need to have you've got to have a set piece. You've got to have, decision makers that are team-based and not individual-based, and you have to have that. Now, at present, I don't know that situation. I know who everybody is and what they're doing, but I need to see them under the heat of the battle. I need to see if I can make them better, whether they're at an age to keep improving, to get to a level that we need to be better at. We have some great young talent, but that young talent needs some old heads around it as well. And they mirror and they bounce off each other. So we have some good players, there's no question. But, across the board, we need 5 or 6 players, I believe, in the future. I'll just see over the next 2 or 3 weeks where they would fit into that squad and who's available that will add to the squad. It's not necessarily who's just, he's available because he's got a reputation. I'm not interested in the reputation. I'm interested in the person, the product, not what his CV says.
From the short amount of time you've spent with the players and looking at the current squad, have you identified any changes you can make in the short term that will improve the general performance of the team during the closing weeks?
The little things are really important, and people forget about the little things within the game. So whether that's body heights, whether that's technical, clearing, sometimes to be at the top end of the game, so whether you're a player or a coach, the team that does the small things and the little detail generally win the contest. Everyone must have the intent to be physical, have the purpose to be physical and carry out that contact style, whether it's carry, whether it's clear, whether it's tackle, whether it's anything. But the little bit of detail makes you a little bit different from somebody else. And that little bit of detail under fatigue is the reason why some players are playing in the championship. I've got to make sure that we understand that and then believe that they're good enough just to turn that little edge. But in training, we have to have that edge. We have to bash each other, but we have to understand that little bit of detail. When there's nobody to clear, do they drop the body height and do they still go through the same continuous repetition of it? Because when it becomes repetitive, you can add physicality. If it becomes loose, you just become reckless. So we can't be reckless in the division either, because I don't know what the officials are like. The referee standard is as good as the Premiership. I'd probably say no. So we have to be clean in how we are disciplined and how we perform. So the little things are really important. So even yesterday, just the little things, just say, hey, don't cut the corner, don't come in inside there because you get pinged and it just ruins the team ethic. So, that little stuff, I think if we can improve on the little detail and I can get in there in that, then great. But ultimately, it's their buy-in as much as mine. It's like any big establishment, it's a group's buy-in that makes the team successful. And I just need to make sure that group buy-in is really strong. And when it goes wrong, I need the group senior players to make sure, or the spine of the team to get us back on track.
Will you be looking to re-establish the link with Sale that, when you were at Sale in the early stages, there was a dual reg agreement, wasn't there, between the two clubs and quite profitable? Is that something that you're looking to rekindle?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's with Sale, whether it's with other teams around the Premiership, if it's the right thing for us to develop, then we'll do it. If it's not the right thing, or just because it's a dumb thing, it won't be. Sale were great in the whole process of me moving and leaving. So I have a huge respect for what Bryan and Steve Diamond have allowed me this opportunity to do this. And if that connection there with players or from other clubs is there, then if it's right for Yorkshire Carnegie, then it'll be right. And again, that link's open, that door's open to have discussions with dual players, loan players, what have you. With the Premiership's a different animal next year because of it starting so late. So they have a different score. There's the Jet games that are not on the first 6 weeks. There's no LV Cup, so that scores for some of the Premiership teams may be different next year. So that may open up an avenue to play a squad player from a Premiership team playing in the Championship team. May open up because the opportunities are less within the Premiership.
How big a role do you see Chris Jones being in your integration in the squad? Because obviously you know each other from way back at Sale, and possibly Dean Schofield coming to join you.
Yeah, well, Jonesy obviously played alongside him as a young, talented man. Obviously left there, went to Worcester, and then had a few years there, tough years for him there as well. And then he's coming here yesterday. We've obviously seen him train. I haven't made him feel any more special than anybody else. He still has to earn my respect as a coach. He had it as a player, but I'm not a player anymore. I'm a coach. So he has to earn it from my view. I have to earn his respect as a coach and make sure the information I give him and the support I give him is right. But Jonesy's got a lot to give, and he's got to make sure that he understands that people look up to him. And he's done a lot of things in his career, and he needs to make sure that he brings that out on the best of the others by performing, not by, I always say, you know, actions speak louder than words. And sometimes that's where we need it, especially in the tough games we're going to have this weekend. So actions, not our words, that are going to be really important, because you know it's a tough game to go down there. Present, I've say after starting yesterday, I've not necessarily looked at that yet, because we're well over, you know, today, tomorrow, Thursday, I will look at all these things. The priority has been staff and players that are here. The current players are important.
Any further questions? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Ian.
Brilliant.
Thank you.